right, welcome back everyone. This is the Happy Toolbox, and this week we are going to take our dynamic stylized bonfire we created last round, bring it into Octane, throw in some lighting and some materials, and get a look that looks like this. So this is our final product. I think it turned out pretty good. We got the lit up coals at the bottom, a bunch of textures on this rock and wood, and this nice jelly glow effect going on the flames. So if you're interested in the rendering portion of this tutorial, let's get going. Okay, so what we want to do first is have our live viewer in the corner here. I'm just gonna kind of get it started, and we're gonna want some type of floor in here. So I'm going to grab a floor object, stack it in, and then we need to start getting some lighting in here. So the first thing I'm gonna want is some type of HDRI environment. Pretty much any HDRI will work here, but getting kind of a sky looking object is probably the best bet. I have the Ultimate Skies HDRI collection from Grayscale Gorilla. I bought it a while ago separately, but they have it all in their Plus subscription now. So it's a ton of different sky HDRIs, which are pretty awesome, something like this. So we're going to be using this number 6 that's blurred out up in the corner. I'm just going to take the small one, put this in. So let's leave everything pretty much the same. And then what we want to do now that we have this lighting going is we're going to go to settings, and we're going to change this from direct lighting to path tracing. And that just, again, as you've seen in other tutorials, I just feel like it works pretty well. I'm going to change my samples down to around 800 just so it renders way faster. I just really like how path tracing kind of evens the lighting out overall, as you can see down here. So we can start from a good spot. Okay, I'm going to take our Octane sky. Maybe I'll start messing with the rotation a little bit. I just kind of want it barely lit. You know, I want this look of kind of dusk, and you have your little campfire set up. I'm going to create a new material to put on the floor and start making some other materials. In R25, your material manager is kind of up in this right corner. So again, still getting used to this whole setup. I'm going to go to materials, say create, and I'm going to create a diffuse material right now. I'm going to put this on the floor. And then for the color, I think I want kind of a darkish blue color. Wow. I'm going to put an Octane camera in. Camera. I always like to crush the camera depth for some reason, so I'm going to change the field of view to 17. Kind of pan back out. That way we have this like flattened, stylized look going on here. And then let's just get straight into lighting the flames. I feel like the rocks, all that stuff's going to be way more straightforward. Flames are a little bit harder. So I like to create a specular material, Octane specular material, and I'm going to create a diffuse material. Okay, so for our specular material, this is what is going to mainly be on the flames. So let's go ahead and just drop these on top of our null. You automatically get this kind of crazy glassy look going on. And what I like to do with this is in the roughness section, I just like to pump that up really heavily. So it almost makes this kind of like jelly glass looking material. And then in transmission, that's kind of what's going to guide the color of a specular material. So you'll notice up here, it just starts with roughness versus if you were on like glossy, there's a diffuse channel in Octane. But in specular, I'm going to use transmission to make this color. So let's do an orange color right now. And we can eventually do some other color randomization in here as well. That's feeling pretty good. Okay, so from there, what we want to do is, remember we tried to keep the flame like positions of their bottoms fairly static overall. And that was so we could stack some geometry inside of it. So I'm going to create a sphere, make the radius pretty small, maybe about there, maybe like 10. And then what I'm going to do is stack it inside of our first flame. So roughly just place it. Get a little bit bigger. And then find that flame. So that was our first sweep. And stack it under the spline primitive. So that still keeps your sweep completely intact. But now that sphere is tied to the same bouncing animation. Okay, so now with our diffuse material we made, what we want to do is use this material as the light source. So we're going to put this material on top of our sphere we just stacked under our system. And we are going to create a light source from this. And so in emission, you want to add a black body emission. And you'll see right away the whole thing like explodes with light, which is cool, but it's not exactly what we want. Also, a big note with this is usually when you're working in low light rendering, you're going to need a lot more samples. It's going to take a lot longer to render. So just a note here. But I mean, you can already see this is pretty cool. So let's go into our black body emission. I want to change this to surface brightness. And as you can see, when I change it to surface brightness, it's really controlling that brightness, not just being like an overpowering solid orb of light, but only emitting light from the very surface of this object. So right away, we're already getting kind of a more lit up, nice glossy look. I want it to be a little bit brighter, so maybe I'll do like 150, maybe 200. So that way this dead center is a little bit brighter. And then for temperature, basically the farther over you go to the left, or the smaller of a number you go in temperature, it's going to get warmer and warmer. So I just want to make sure it's a pretty nice, warm looking. And then you can basically control this sphere. So if I scale this sphere down, here, I'll go to the side. If I scale this sphere down, the farther away this sphere gets away from like the edges of these objects, the less light is going to pass through this blurry material we created. And I'm actually going to go back through into the roughness. I'm going to put it about there. So that way we have a little bit of fall off. We kind of have this top flame trailing off, which feels pretty nice. I think I want this to be a little bit more of a saturated color and maybe a little more yellow. There we go. That's feeling pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to put all those same white orbs, scale them down differently inside of each of these objects. Again, tucking them under the spline primitive and adding the same material. I'll probably speed ramp through this just since it's the same process over and over. Okay, that's feeling pretty good. We got this cool little dynamic stylized fire going. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, this is gonna be awesome. Okay, so we got our fire. Now we need to do our logs. We need to do our coals, etc. So I'm going to go into my live DB manager on Octane where they have like a nice set of materials and textures that are on their servers that you can take a look at. So you can go into wood, grab some wood materials from here. I don't know, maybe I'll grab this weird oak material. Yeah, so I have this oak material. I'm just gonna stack these on the logs. He's looking weird. No, those look pretty good. Let's go with that. See, Octane has some pretty good materials. Obviously, Grayscale Gorilla has a really nice Octane material set. I'm no material master, so I tend to lean on others. But yeah, it's feeling pretty good. And then for the rocks, I am going to use Grayscale Gorilla. They have a nice rock texture. Just gonna grab that rock 04. And then they do have displacement in that. So I'll probably take that out, or at least knock it down. They have it at pretty high and my scene scale is pretty small. So I'm just gonna knock it down to like 2, maybe 1.5. And then I might make this have more specular. So I basically just turn the specular to black on this material. In the index, was it like 1.3? So I'm doing 1.5 just to make it a little shinier. Even though those are way more true to rock materials, but I kind of want this to pop a little bit more. Maybe I'll put the index to 1.6. That way the light's kind of bouncing off it. Looks pretty nice. And then actually for my floor, I'm gonna, now that I have kind of my scene coming into play, I'm gonna knock this saturation way back. Next piece we want to do are these coals laying here and then kind of the coal bed itself. So for the coals, it's pretty straightforward. I feel like they'll end up picking up some of the specular and things from around here. I just want to make a really base material. Make material, create just another diffuse material. Just another glossy material. Turn the roughness up a little bit. Go to the diffuse. Let's knock it down to, you know, some grayish color. And then in bump, let's add some octane noise. Turn the omega up a little bit. And let's go ahead and add these to the coals. So there we go. We got, you know, basic coal look. They have a little bit of bump going on, so some of the light refracts on it. Now for the hot coal bed, what I want to do here is I want to do some type of mixed material and have the same kind of glow effect going on the flames, but down below. So I'm going to create 2 different materials. One, I'm going to duplicate our octane specular kind of orange one. Go to our transmission and change this to much more of a reddish hue. And then I'm going to duplicate that same coal material I made, but I kind of want to change this color. We'll see how this goes. I kind of want to change it more into the reds. This could be a mistake. We'll see how this goes. And then in materials, I'm going to create an octane mixed material. So what that does is it allows you to stack 2 separate materials and then use a float texture or noise or an image map or anything like that to kind of alpha between the 2 or mix the 2. So I'm going to drag in my octane specular red color. I'm going to drag in my octane diffuse color. And so for this float texture, instead of that, you can see it's kind of mixing the materials together. What I want is I want some type of black and white pattern in here. So I'm going to add noise in and then mess with the gamma and contrast and some of these other values to kind of create more of a crunchy look. So I'm going to put the contrast pretty high up. Drop the omega. So see, now I'm getting these like little bits of that color peeking through. So let's go ahead and just throw this on here for now. We'll take the octane mixed material, put it on our hot coals. Doesn't look like much yet. So I'm going to take a cylinder, since this is much more of kind of a flat, rounded shape. I'm going to collapse it down pretty small. You can see here. I'm going to put some rounded edges on it. Filet fish those edges. And then stack it inside of our hot coal geometry. Okay, and this is probably going to be way too extreme, but let's just throw that octane diffused light we made. Okay, cool, we're getting somewhere. So I'll probably make this a little bit smaller. And then I'll go back to my octane mix material and mess with this gamma
All right, that's feeling pretty good. Sweet. So as you can see, by messing with that and using the octane mix material, we're kind of using this noise pattern to alpha and cut out between the two materials. So we're getting this nice like speckled looking hot coal effect going on here.
All right, and there you have it. There is our dynamic stylized bonfire. We took it all the way through from implementation to rendering in this 2-part series. Hopefully there's some tips and tricks you guys can pull out of here. Always love to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd help us out a ton. And as always, if you're interested in any 3D model packs, this base of this bonfire is part of our outdoor adventure pack on the happytoolbox.com. All right, I'll see you next time.